Hey guys, welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to do a really short, hopefully, garden tour. I have my little dino shirt on. I am sitting here with my first sweet peas that I've ever grown from seed. Really excited for you guys to see what we've done with the yard. Let's get going. All right, guys, we're going to start over here. This is the side yard, right at our entrance when you come into the backyard. This is a Japanese boxwood that I'm training as a topiary. I'm trying to give it a cone shape. In the middle is Asian jasmine. I'm not sure if it's native to here, but it does grow really well around Florida. People use them as ground covers. You can trim them into hedges. You can stay low to the ground, or you can kind of have it up to 12, 14 inches. This is a Pentas. These are wonderful for pollinators. They attract butterflies and hummingbirds. Another Asian jasmine, and this is I think it's a blue spire salvia. This I love to use in flower arrangements. It lasts like 7 to 10 days in the vase. Everything's looking a little ragged because we have had the hottest winter. I mean, it has just been insane. It's been hot, then cold. It's like that Katy Perry song. If you guys can't tell by that what generation I am. Here I have another Asian jasmine. So I tried to do a pattern of boxwood, jasmine, pentas, jasmine, and then salvia. We have another pentas here. I've been interplanting them with these perpetual spinach from Baker's Creek. It is apparently a spinach that grows well in the heat because it's related to chard. So these are about a month old and they taste pretty good. They kind of have that like almost bitter chard flavor, but it's a really great alternative since during most of the summer I can't grow any kind of greens. It just gets too hot, even in the winter, honestly. And then another Japanese boxwood, the pattern repeats, another Asian jasmine, another pentas, another Asian jasmine, and another salvia, another jasmine, pentas, jasmine, and then the last boxwood here. And then over here I've planted, these are called Rose Rhapsody salvias. I got the seeds from Baker's Creek. As you can see, I've planted a couple of them in a row here. They get, I believe, about 14 inches tall or something like that, but I absolutely love them. They have this beautiful purple outer bell, and then a really deeper purple inner throat. I haven't seen any pollinators on them yet, but you can see down here, I actually pinched each plant. Where the plant was pinched, it sent off 3 different shoots, and I've been actually harvesting them for cut flowers. The salvias do so well in our environment. They're really heat tolerant and humidity tolerant. So this whole row I have planted with Rose Rhapsody salvia. But here is a volunteer, I think this is a Hot Biscuits amaranth. These seed pods are edible. These seed pods are edible. Apparently you can use them like quinoa. You can supposedly pop them like popcorn, which I haven't tried, but these leaves are also edible. I've been using them in salads. Bird bath here. This plant, I cannot remember the name, but I will put it up on the screen, but supposedly it is only hardy to zone 10, so I did not expect it to come back. I planted 2 of them, but it looks like we have signs of life. I'm really excited. They had these gorgeous purple stems. I love purple in the landscape. Here's my at last rose. I've been trying edible gardening. or I've been trying to do some edible landscaping. I picked up a book, which I'll put on the screen here, by Rosalind Creasy, I think is her name, is how you say it. It's called Edible Landscaping, but she had these wonderful ideas. So here we have 1, 2, 3 parsley plants. I absolutely love using parsley in cooking, so I'm really excited to see how these are going to do in the landscape. Here we have a Meyer lemon. We don't have any blooms on it yet, but it's only been here for a couple of months, so we'll give it some time. And then as part of my edible landscaping, I have 2 basil here. So the wonderful thing about basil is you can obviously use the leaves in cooking, but then when it bolts and sends up flowers, you can use those in flower arrangements, which I'm very excited about. Over here, one of my favorite plants for Florida. This is called Duranta, golden dewdrop flower. It sends out these beautiful purple flowers, and then in the winter it has orange berries which the birds love. So provides beautiful winter interest and summer interest. Pollinators love the flowers in the summer, and then birds love the flowers or the seeds in the winter. Over here, as part of my edible landscaping, again, I've done some Japanese giant mustard. Something is eating it. That's not me. Another at last rose over here. Another salvia over there, and then another golden dewdrop over there. Here I've continued my attempt at trying edible landscaping. So these are cardinal basil. I got the seeds from Baker's Creek again. I have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over here. This is Dara. This plant is quite happy here, but it has not given me any flowers yet, but it will hopefully eventually. This is another golden dewdrop. Another golden dewdrop over here. Another Dara. This one's not quite as happy. And then my Maldini Dahlia, which I have a video of, I'll link it above. It sprouted for me. I was not expecting this guy to come back, or this lady, I guess. But I'm really excited she's here. These are snap peas. There is nothing better than garden fresh peas. I love them so much. If I could only garden for one thing. I know a lot of people are into tomatoes, and I love tomatoes, but peas are where it's at. This is a cucumber. I'm really excited. I finally have a little cucumber there. Here I have a marigold that totally volunteered for me. Welcome, little guy. I have a bachelor's button here that has a gorgeous bloom. Here I have planted snapdragons. I've never grown snapdragons from seeds, so this is going to be really exciting for me. I ended up pinching these, as was recommended by a lot of the flower farmers that I follow on YouTube. Apparently you can tell what color a snapdragon is going to be by looking at the underside of the leaves. So this one's probably going to be red. This one looks like maybe a dark purple. I got these seeds from Johnny's. Unfortunately, I did not label any of them. Story of my life. Over here in this second vegetable bed, I have another A-frame trellis. These are the bourgeois, I don't know how to say it, bourgeois sweet pea from Baker's Creek. I have never grown sweet peas before. I planted them a little late. I'm honestly impressed that they even flowered, because February was in the 90s, but they are just going hard over here. I have to come and trellis them in a bit. We have snapdragons, which looks like they have developed a fungal infection, which is fairly typical of anything in Florida, to be honest. Here are some more beautiful snapdragons. I just harvested some earlier today. This is Statice. first year for me growing these as well. It is a lot of firsts this year. I've already cut off a couple heads and dried them, and I'm going to have another video coming out on how to do that. But just look at how gorgeous that is. Ugh, this is called Secret White from Johnny Seed. These are the stars of the show, though, over here. This is a giant web of tomatoes. This is only 2 plants, and it has completely taken over this trellis. We have tomatoes almost ready for harvesting. Have just clusters and clusters of these gorgeous cherry tomatoes. I mean, this plant is just not stopping. Oh my goodness. This tomato plant holds a really special place in my heart because I grew these 2 plants. I actually have more in the green stock over there, but I grew these plants from seeds that I got from Italy. So my husband and I went to Italy last year. Sorry about the sun. My husband and I went to Italy last year, and I picked up a couple of tomatoes from a farmer's market there, and I actually was able to get the seeds from them, and I got about 10 plants, and these plants have overwintered. So I started these last September. They survived a couple of freezes. They've survived so much, and they are delicious. They're beautiful, perfect red cherry tomatoes. I've been drying them to make sun-dried tomatoes, and I hope the Italians are very happy with that. So over here on my patio, I have my green stock planter, and I love this thing. They do a couple of sales a few times a year, and I got 2 of them. I have to figure out where I want to put the other one, but I have eggplants. I also have these guys, which I think are mealybugs. So I came out here and I sprayed with neem oil. I have delicious peppers, variety, question mark, because your girl here forgets how to put plant tags. I have thyme here. I have kale and dill. I absolutely love dill. I also love eggplants, as you can tell. I have tons of peppers. I have these tomatoes, which I also got from Italy. These are not as sweet as the red ones, but they're still really good. These tomato plants are pretty tall. As you can see, I've strung some twine to hopefully help the tomato plants grow a little bit better. Over here, I have lettuce. I have parsley. I have more tomatoes. Over here I have a raised bed, and this I'm pretty sure is either a paprika pepper or a lipstick pepper. I'll try to figure out and put it in the on the screen, but I got these seeds from Baker's Creek, and then this is something I'm really excited about, white eggplant, that I also got from Baker's Creek. I think this is a Corno de Toro, and then another eggplant here. I have these beautiful hibiscus plants. They are a double pink ruffle hibiscus. If you are new to growing in Florida, there are a couple of plants that I think are just absolutely foolproof. Hibiscus is one of them. It can tolerate being moved multiple times. It can tolerate being pruned hard. It can tolerate drought. It can tolerate wet feet. It gives you beautiful flowers. This is my little avocado tree. I got this from Nick's Edibles. He's local in St. Cloud, but this is called a Brogdon avocado. I had a bunch of flowers, but out of those I only have 2 fruit, but still, for a plant in its first year, I'm really super excited. Over here I have a Mr. Lincoln Rose. I'll see if I can find a picture and put it up on the screen, but we have tons of growth here. I got this as a bare root from Tractor Supply Company, of all places, and I have it here in a corner of the bed with Coreopsis, Dusty Miller, or no, this is not Coreopsis, this is blanket flower, Dusty Miller. Over here I have Texas Sage. I have Agapanthus there. I have these sun hostas. Hostas are tricky to grow in Florida. We don't have any shade in the backyard. These are sun hostas, so supposedly they're going to do better in the sun, although we'll see because this area does not get any shade. Another Texas sage here. Then another one of my favorite flowers, which this is Scaevola, beautiful ground cover and is drought tolerant. Some more Scaevola. This is Lantana, which grows wild here as well. More Scaevola, more Lantana, and then two of my recent additions are Dusty Miller. They're having a little bit of transplant shock, but these hopefully will be a beautiful fuzzy ground cover like in this general area. So this is this bed. This guy I'm also really excited to grow. This is Sapodia, also called chiku. This is a Indian favorite. My parents grew up eating this in India, and I'm really excited that I get to be able to grow it in my yard. So this bed is only about 2 months old. I have these boxwoods that are loving their lives. So I'm hoping to create a boxwood hedge about 3 feet tall. And then the back will be agapanthus. This is one of my favorite flowers. It grows zones 8 to 10, I believe. It is drought tolerant. I've seen these in California just growing wild, but they will send up stalks in like May, so it's almost time. But they have these beautiful bluish purple, or sometimes even white flowers. They're also called Lily of the Nile. And eventually you can get a ton of free plants because they grow in clumps, and every 3 years you can divide them and get free plants, which is my favorite kind of plant, honestly. I've kept this log here because I'm thinking inside I kind of want to carve it out and do like a little succulent planter. But now this guy is another one of my favorite plants for zone 9. This is pink guava. I mean, this gal / guy can take anything you throw at it. I have moved this plant, I think 3 times in the last like year. It can absolutely handle anything and will still produce flowers for you. I mean, this plant is looking so healthy, and I've just completely neglected it. Eventually I'm going to come out here and prune it to give it more of a base shape. And here I have Lantana, which is another one of my favorites, and it's a Florida native, so you can't go wrong with a native plant. Well guys, that's it for today. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me into your life today, even if just for a little bit. I love this plant, so I really wanted to feature it, but it was a hard decision to decide to make this garden tour because the garden's not perfect. I mean, I have cardboard coming up here. I'm using wood shavings as mulch. It's really hard in this age of social media when you go online and you see 75 perfect gardens, and you know, the boxwoods are beautifully edged and there's no weeds at all and everything's green and healthy. But I think it's really important to see what a real garden looks like. I'm trying to do this as organically as I can without any pesticides, without any herbicides. I'm trying to be as environmentally friendly as possible, so I'm using wood shavings as mulch. That is my personal choice, and I just think it's so important not to compare your garden to what someone else has been working on for, you know, 6, 10, 20 years. This garden for me is only about 2 to 4 months old. When we moved in, we have quite a big lot. We have about 9,000 square feet. When we moved in, it was all that Bermuda grass, and it's a very steep slope. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've had to spend a lot of time and effort putting the foundation into place, the hardscaping, and then being able to grow on top of that. I think if you try to hold your garden to, you know, this perfect ideal or this perfect standard, it's very easy to get burnt out while gardening. And if you garden for the same reason I do, which is to find peace, to nurture something, to really feel like you're helping the environment, then it's just worth it to do things kind of slowly and take a step back every once in a while, and not just, you know, go 100% all the way through. I am still a full-time physician, so I am doing this on my days off, and I'm doing it because it feeds my soul. Like, I think it probably feeds most of yours if you're watching this. So I hope you will come along with me as we do these garden tours. I'm really excited to see how things change, especially as you know, it gets warmer and things like the parsley and the basil start getting bigger. I have a beautiful sunset behind me, and I think we're gonna call it a day. I hope your garden is giving you exactly what you need today, and happy growing.